name is Brittany Roger and I'm the digital specialist at the Maryland SPCA. I was walking through the kennel and I stopped dead in my tracks as soon as I saw him looking up with those pound puppy eyes. I went into the kennel with one of our kennel techs and we played with him and cuddled him and he gave us lots of kisses.
When Sugar first came into the shelter, he was in pretty rough shape. He was just this large, severely overweight dog that just had a lot of mobility issues, and he was just covered in these like little tumors all over his body, and it kind of made it hard for him to get around, and like even getting in and out of the kennel was a struggle for him.
For Mr. Sugar, he came in and he did need a dental, and he had a few lumps also, but because he was a larger guy, it really wasn't too safe to anesthetize him, so it puts a lot of strain on their lungs, which can lead to respiratory distress and surgery.
Sugar needed foster because he was such a long ways away from being medically cleared, and the shelter is not comfortable enough for a long-term stay. Getting Sugar in the car was a challenge. Getting him out of the building was a challenge, but thankfully we did have a doggy ramp in stock at the shelter, and he was very patient with me. The first night that I brought Sugar home, I couldn't wait to give him a bath. He was very stinky. He was a really good sport. And then I found out how much he loves towels and blankets. As much as he hated his bath, he loved being toweled off. We had him gated off so that he couldn't explore too much too quickly. And for the first month or so, he was quite sedentary. He just cozied up on the dog beds and enjoyed it when we spent time with him. In the beginning, Sugar's weight loss plan was pretty straightforward. He was on a prescription diet, and I encouraged him to get more steps by tossing the individual kibbles around the room. And he got to explore his space a little bit more and burn off some of those calories at the same time.
For his foster, he was sent home with a medication called Denamarin, mostly because his liver values were elevated when we did some senior blood work on him. And Denamarin basically helps with keeping his liver healthy. He had to come in for weekly weigh-ins, which he wasn't too excited about getting on the scale every week, but he was a champ and he did it anyway and got lots of scratches on his butt afterwards.
He usually lost 2 pounds a week. Every time we went back up to the office from the exam room, it was like a training montage. On his way back and forth from the exam room, he visited as many people as he could, and everybody grew to expect and love their Shuggy visits. He is a social butterfly, and he loved trotting around the offices, getting lots of hugs and kisses from everybody. Once Sugar was mobile, it was harder to keep him on his diet because anything he could reach, he would eat. And I had to call the foster hotline a couple of times. I caught him getting into the paper towels, the toilet papers, and one night he even ate an instruction manual. He had lost enough weight that it really positively affected his mobility and his confidence. Once he was able to be mobile, that's when he realized he had a passion for sniffing and he couldn't stop exploring the world around him.
And because of his foster mom, he was able to actually get down to those goal weight.
I was scared when Shuggy went into surgery, but he did great. After Sugar's surgery and he finished his medicine, in a celebration I posted on Facebook, and immediately Courtney commented that she was falling in love with Sugar, and they immediately applied and got an interview. It's easy to appreciate Shuggy's eligible qualities. It's easy to appreciate that Shuggy sleeps through the night and goes potty outside and gets along with other animals. I wanted somebody who was going to appreciate that he eats toilet paper and you need to keep the door closed, or that he'll pile up under blankets and dog beds and you don't know where he is. And Courtney was definitely the person who could appreciate his quirks as well as his easygoing personality. By the time Shuggy got adopted, he needed another bath, and he was again very resistant, but I tried to tell him that I wanted him to make a good impression on his new mommy. So he went along with it, and he went home smelling great. He had a little fan club by the time he was adopted, and everybody came out to say goodbye to him as he trotted home with his new mom, and it was very emotional. He was a really special guy, and everybody was happy to see him go home with his perfect match. I think dogs like Shuggy have this incredible resilience. He started out needing a lot of help to do really basic things, and it was hard because you knew he must have been in pain, but he didn't really let it on. And it was beautiful to watch his confidence and his zest for life evolve and grow and flourish with his mobility. Once he figured out what he could do, his thought was, what else can I do? And dogs like Shuggy are really inspiring.
When my senior dog passed away, it felt like a piece of us was just missing. People have different ways of coping with it and need to kind of let their hearts heal a little bit. You know that the pet that you're bringing in is never going to be a replacement for the pet that you had. And I really feel like Shuggy was meant for us. He's been extremely healing for us in a really hard period, and we needed him. Oh my gosh, he is so much fun. We go for this nice walk and explore the city, take in the elements, and so having a dog that enjoys that is huge. It's such a nice decompression at the end of the day. He is really playful. Just watching him get his zoomies around and meet other dogs and explore the dog park. And I feel like he's earned this point in his life where he gets to really enjoy himself, and we're just along for the ride. He's getting such a little waist. He's got an hourglass figure now. I would definitely still say that cuddling is his #1 hobby. He loves to love and loves to be loved, which is exactly like I couldn't have asked for something more perfect. I just really want to say how appreciative I am of the Maryland SPCA. It was a easy but very thorough process, and I think helped make sure that we had the best outcome possible for adoption.